Hey everybody, it's Spooky Noodles, and today I went to Detroit's book fair, and it was so much fun. I got to meet a lot of book nerds, and actually I have a cool story at the end of this when I get to the book that I want to talk about. But overall it was a really cool experience, and I would love to do it again. It was annual, so it only happens once a year. So it was fun though. It happened in what was it called? Like Shed 3 or something like that. I don't remember what they called them, but it was the building number 3 in the Eastern Market in Detroit. So it was a lot of fun, and I got a few books out of it. So I got there late, so I think I probably lost out on all the really good books. I was going in to see if I could find some Richard Lehman books, but unfortunately, or John Saul, or anything that looked like an old school retro horror book, but unfortunately I didn't get much of that. But I did get some good finds right here in this bag. So why don't I share with you what I got? We're gonna start off with a book that my mom got me. She knows that I used to love H.P. Lovecraft. The love for H.P. Lovecraft kind of dropped a little bit because he's a massive racist, and I don't really like to be associated with a massive racist. So, but I have to admit, I do like some of his stories, like the Dunwich Horror, and there was one other one that I really liked, but I can't think of it right now. But the Dunwich Horror was top material right there. It's a really good story. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. I think Chilling Tales for Dark Nights has a really good audio drama for it, or whatever, narration. It's really good, so I would check it out. But this is the book. It's in the wrapping case still. It's Shadow over Innsmouth, and other stories of horror by H.P. Lovecraft. And you got the little guy there. He's kind of see-through. You can see the village behind him. He's got a creepy frog-looking face with some weird-ass eyebrows. And I can read to you the stories on the back. It's The Shadow over Innsmouth, The Festival, The Color Out of Space, Imprisoned with the Pharaohs, In the Walls of Eryx, The Transition of Juan Romero, and The Outsider. So there you go. That's my book I got from my mom. Alright, now the next book let's talk about is this one. This is also in a bag. I got this one for $2, and I think I did really well with this, but The Werewolf in Paris by Guy Endore. And this sucker, I was actually looking for it, I wanted to get a cool paperback of this one. I was just gonna buy some hardcover on eBay, or Amazon, I should say. But then I found this baby at the book fair, and I was like, I gotta have it, I was just in a huge werewolf phase, like I had to get every werewolf book ever made, so I have like a huge pile of them just stacked up over there, right next to my Richard Lehman stack. I need more bookshelves, y'all. It's getting bad. I gotta read some of these books on my bookshelves, though. I got so many books, and I'm actually thinking about getting rid of some, because some of them I just know I'll never get to. They're just pretty to sit on my shelf. But anyways, that's besides the point. Werewolf in Paris, The Werewolf of Paris, I should say, is about dark screen. Is about this werewolf, this guy who turns into a werewolf in Paris. Pretty I don't know if you want to see the back, but there's the back. If I can just get it not to glare, and you can pause it, there you go. So yeah, I got it for $2. I think it was a good deal. Alright, these next 2 books are the ones I was really, really excited about. And this first one is called, if I can get the glare off, Flashpoint. Now this one, just look at that beautiful cover. I don't know if you can see it very well, but such a fucking pretty cover. I loved it. I was instantly drawn when I saw this. I grabbed it and I was like, paid for it immediately, and then looked at the rest of the books because I was like, I want this book. This is the first book I found there, and I don't know. The book back also had me captivated. I can read it for you. It says it's the first edition too, so it was published by Fawcett, and it's by George LaFontaine. So yeah, the back says it began as a stroke of incredible luck for Robert Logan and Ernie Wheeler, border patrol cops. Partners and pals who enjoyed the easy camaraderie of shared whiskey and women, they suddenly discovered $850,000 in cash buried in the sand in an abandoned Jeep next to a skeleton. I guess that's the skeleton with all the cash around it. It should have been their ticket to a first-class life. If they could get away with it, if they could find a place to run, and if they didn't end up like the thing in the Jeep, what was in store for them was something much more terrifying. Against the dusty mesas and canyons of the Texas border country unfolds this chilling drama of intrigue, murder, and brutal suspense. Flashpoint. And it has a blurb from the Houston Post saying, a first-rate thriller builds to a smashing climax. And I am looking so forward to giving this book a read. You don't even know. You don't know. It's very interesting to me. I'll show the pretty cover again, if I can get it without a glare. Got all the dollar bills. You got the skeleton at the wheel. You got some guy in the background. This is such a pretty cover. I like it a lot. That was Flashpoint. And now this one has a story behind it. And before I show it to you, I want to tell you the story. So, as you guys know, if you do not know, then now you know. If you don't know, now you know, homie. Sorry, a little Notorious B.I.G. Possessed me for a second there. I write horror stories, and most of them are short stories, and I'm trying to get my stuff published with somebody, you know, anybody at this point. I got one story of mine that's being considered for an anthology. What's the anthology called? Nox Pareidolia. So, I'm waiting for their word to say if they're gonna reject me or not, which wouldn't be surprising because it wouldn't be the first time, because I get rejected a lot, and I guess that's a thing you gotta deal with. You get rejected a lot until you write a damn good story, too good to, you know, to reject. So, but anyways, back to my point of the story. I'm looking around this book fair, and I see a Michigan publisher. They're selling their books that they produced, and it's called the Great Lake Horror Writers Association, I think it was called. It was pretty long name. But yeah, I was looking at their stuff and I saw one because I'm going to read The Turtle Boy by Keelan Patrick Burke. It's on its way in the mail right now. I don't have a Kindle anymore, so I needed a physical copy, and the only physical copy of those books is the autographed one. So I bought an autographed Keelan Patrick Burke, Keelan Patrick Burke book. Say that 10 times fast. Bet you can't. So I'm most likely, everyone says that I'm going to like Keelan Patrick Burke, and he's a big author at the moment, and I'm going to give him a shot. So, I mean, I wasn't expecting to find a Keelan Patrick Burke work of art or piece of work, but I was looking at this publisher, and they have this book I'm about to show you called Garden of Fiends: Tales of Addiction Horror. And there's two big names on here. There's some other names you guys might know, not me though. But the big name being Jack Ketchum. You know, everyone knows who Jack Ketchum is, right? I shouldn't have to tell you guys. You guys love horror, so. But if you don't know, he wrote The Girl Next Door, which is a huge book. I didn't read it, but I'm too scared to read it, honestly. I have a few of his books called, I think it's called Lost, and I have, don't remember the name of the book, but it was no, it's gone. I had it and now it's gone. But anyways, this publisher publishes work from the Midwest and stuff like that. So they work with horror authors from Michigan, I guess, or at least that's the vibe I got from it. But I hear they were talking about how nice of a guy Keelan Patrick Burke was, and how he's from Ohio, and I didn't know that about him, so that was pretty cool. Even though we're like rivals, us in Michigan, or Michigan and Ohio. So, but this is the book. It has a pretty cover. I like that. You know, look at all the needles protruding out of his neck. You got the pills falling out of his mouth. And who knows what the fuck's going on with his eyes. You know, you got shrooms growing on the top of his head. And yeah. I've been wanting to make an addiction type horror story, but I don't know anything about addiction. So, you know, the only thing I'm addicted to is energy drinks. So, you know, if I were to do a story about energy drinks, no one would watch it or read it. So, but this is I bought a book from them. And here's the back if you guys are interested. Let me try to hold it steady so you can read it. There. That might be easier. But they're a publisher in Michigan, and it's kind of a perfect fit if I can send some of my work to them, because yeah, I'm a horror writer from Michigan, and they work with horror writers from Michigan, so you'd think it'd work out, so we'll see. And at the end of this video, I'll actually show you the cover image for my new book I'm going to be publishing soon. It's a collection of short stories, and maybe you'll be interested in buying it after seeing the cover. Who knows? But yeah, these are some of the books I found. Let's get them up here. It's Garden of Fiends, the H.P. Lovecraft. If I can fit it. Flashpoint. And last but not least, Werewolf of Paris. Maybe that will be the thumbnail right here. But anyways, those are the books I got from the Michigan Book Fair. I hope you all enjoyed, especially that little tidbit, you know, about me and the publisher, but yeah, it's a good year for horror. That's it. That's what I have to say. I mean, you've seen all the good horror movies out. I mean, you just had to look at one to know, be part of this huge horror phenomenon going on this year. But horror books are great this year. You got so many good authors like Chad Lutsky, Keelan Patrick Burke, Edward Lorne. These authors are popping out of nowhere, and it's amazing. So hopefully I can be a part of this author pop up. I mean, I got to write a book first, but you know. But I hope you enjoyed. This has been my Michigan Book Fair book haul. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And it's Spooky Noodles, and I am out of here. Out of this world, man.